Hi everybody, and welcome to the final live stream of the week. I have done, I think it's 7 days, it's at least 6 days of live streaming every evening. Specifically painting up some Space Marines. We painted, I think, 10 models this week. We have 5 Terminators, 4 Stern Guard, and a Terminator Librarian. All out of the Leviathan box that now are all base coated and looking absolutely fresh. They're looking a little too fresh. Tonight we get the satisfaction of taking the magic little oil bottle and making them look nice and grungy. Before we start, I will just ask everyone to do the YouTube things of like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I go live here on the channel. We are not going to do every day next week. We are going to get a schedule put together. Keep an eye on the Instagram, which there's a link for in the description, as well as the community page here on YouTube, to get the updates on what the schedule for next week is going to be and what the schedule moving forward is likely to be. And we're just going to keep trucking at it and keep enjoying being online, being live streaming, chatting with people here, and, well, actually painting some models for once. To that end, we put a decent dent in my Space Marine backlog. We did not put a real dent in my Space Marine backlog. And, I'm not quite sure what I want to paint next week. I have a Daredeo Dreadnought that's primed. That would be fun to do. I have more Stern Guard. I have Heavy Intercessors. I have Hell Blasters. I feel like I'm missing something out of my current Space Marines collection. I have a bevy of characters to get through. So, we have more Space Marines to paint. We can also work on finishing my current 2K list of my Custodes. All of them are base coated in the Pro White Gold, which is what I use for my Custodian's armor. It looks absolutely fantastic on the tabletop. So we could work on those guys, or we can paint an orc or two, because the Night Tyrant is almost finished being printed, and you can probably hear a print running in the background now that it should be his right foot, his left foot. That'll be his left foot, and then after that, all I have to paint is his backpack and his right cannon. So by Tuesday, we'll be done printing our Tyrant, and so we can maybe see him a little bit. Maybe we'll put him together and pose him on stream. We'll see what we're feeling. But that is not today. Today, Space Marines, specifically oil washing Space Marines, and there's always something, chat. Oh look, and now you're not gonna focus. Yeah, come on. Come on. I really need to figure out how to turn off autofocus. Alright, give me 2 seconds. Because I remembered the lights tonight. That's an improvement. Mic's not muted, the music's playing. Forgot to open up the camera. There we go. Again, oil washes. I literally just grabbed my box of gloves. Oh, got kicked under my cart. I grabbed my box of PPE gloves from my little airbrush station, because I do not want to get oil paint all over my hands, specifically oil paint thinner all over my hands, because it's dry enough up here, and my hands already be cracking. So, just gonna wiggle our way into some gloves, and we're gonna have some fun. I kind of was thinking about in what order I want to do things. I think I'm gonna do the Stern Guard first, and then maybe the Terminators, and then we might finish on the Librarian. Again, bit of a reward. I did get a box of Q-tips. because I think that they're gonna work really well to clean up the wash. But without any further ado, I want to get into it. This is my favorite part of my Space Marine recipe. It's the oil washing. It's just so satisfying. I'm sure people will have opinions on like, oh, you should be using a thin brush so you can have more control. You should have a finer needle applicator on that bottle. I don't care. It works great. And I want my guys to look dirty, like they're in the middle of a war. Because they are. They're not going to be pristine. They shouldn't be pristine. At least not with a more realistic, I say realistic, at least not with a paint job like this that's, supposed to be somewhat believable. For my cartoony knights, I'm not too stressed about making them actually look weathered, because it's not the aesthetic for them. Man, this stuff's just magic. I love doing this. Space Marines are so good for this because they've got so many little cracks and crevices on their armor. Just right in there. I'm gonna go through a lot of Q-tips tonight, though. I can already tell. Or sorry, not Q-tips. That's the name wrong. A lot of variety pack cotton swabs. This is what CVS had. These are actually working perfectly. So glad I grabbed the big box then. Not that there was a choice. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I'm so glad that didn't spill. That would have made such a mess. Again, if it's too heavy on any one spot, or if it darkens down or peels off paint on any one spot, I can always touch it up. Because I'm not going to a tournament or anything crazy like this anytime soon. Especially not with my Space Marines. So I'm in no actual hurry to finish these models. So I can just enjoy the process. Good wash on his bolter. I think the bolter being too dirty is going to be a problem. Yeah, that looks good. This whole stream is gonna be me just being way too excited about how much I love oil washing Space Marines. This is why we did it this way, right? Give us a little bit of a reward for having painted a good chunk of Space Marines. This is like 300 points, 400 points of Space Marines? With the Librarian? Yeah. Oh. Wow, that voice crack is real. It's like I've been talking a couple hours every night. Ooh, and that's oil paint all over my water bottle. Great. Be careful with that. You were staying right there. Perfect, so I don't have to touch you. Because that could have been bad. So satisfying, so nice. Ugh, wow. Excuse me. I dare say that this little boy looks quite good when he's grimy. Get his gooch. That run down his tabard. That look, man. This is the best. This is the best step of this recipe. Just adds so much. Adds so much to these models with relatively light effort. And yes, I know you can, put on an oil wash and come back with paint thinner later. I always find I have more control if I just go ahead and do a little portion. Like I'll do this guy's right leg, or left leg rather. I'll just get it all over his left leg. Wow. Get it all over his left leg. And his base. And then immediately come in and go, base should be a little bit drier there. So we'll sop up some there. Make sure we don't black out his shin. Or the purple on his knee. Just dabbing it away. Let's make sure we don't have big old stains. trying to leave it in the crevices. Sometimes, especially with Q-tips, it wicks up a little bit too well and it pulls it out of the cracks, but you can always just reapply and go at it again. This is the original Grimdark setting. Things are not meant to be pristine and clean. It's war. Shit gets dirty in war. So let it be a little dirty every now and then. Yeah, get in that heavy bolter. Get all up in that heavy bolter. Make it grimy. Make it well loved, well used. Like it's been depended on its whole life. Love it. Absolutely love it. Face. Again, you cheat. Darken the area around his helmet by just spraying oil wash up in there. Nothing better. Ooh, that was a big bubble on that shoulder pad. Okay. Arm while we're at it. Just a little bit of a darker line on this left shoulder. Just a little bit more definition in his face too. Good. banner, whatever you want to call it. Just a little bit. That's two, man, we're trucking. Taking my time to make sure all these look good, but I'm not laboring the point. I think I can actually be a little less cautious with everything. I think if I see a big pool spot like that, I should grab it. But I think, and we'll try on this guy, we'll just let this all sit just a tad bit longer. So like I'll do both legs at the same time. His belt. Get about half the model. So we're gonna be egregious, even though I know I just did that. Let me just pull that. Ooh, that's not a tad more, that's quite a bit more. Oh well. Come right off. Bolter. I'm putting quite a bit of emphasis on the silver. It reacts really nicely to the oil wash. And of course the white stains quite bad, but that is part of the risk we take. Very nice, very, very nice. got a little heavy-handed on his helmet there, but with a couple wipes, clear that right up. For the most part, at least. Helmet crest piece doesn't really like to be highlighted this way. It's one of the things I'm learning tonight. It's really easy to wipe off that entire recess shade when you're just trying to get it a little bit cleaner around his face. There we go. No two guys should be the same. No two guys should be dirty in the same manner. It should all be unique to each Astartes. In my opinion, at least. Sorry, give me 1 second. Respond to something. Don't think I got oil wash on my shirt. That was almost close. 3, 4. Our last Stern Guard veteran for the night. This is our combi weapon guy. I genuinely am not a huge fan of combi weapons in 10th edition. From a theoretical standpoint, I'm not a huge fan of them in general. I think they're cool. I think they're an interesting thing to have exist, especially with such a capable fighting force like the Adeptus Astartes. Space Marines, for those of you who are just tuning in for my pretty face. Oh, there should be some gold on those. And that ammunition on top. Oop. I think it's perfectly capable, but the logistics of how heavy the dang things have to be. You know, oh, of course, this guy's carrying a quite literally a heavy machine gun. But yeah, not my favorite. I much prefer, and I mean I'm kind of glad because I think the combi weapon rules are kind of bad in 10th edition right now. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, if you think combi weapons are superior, especially for the Stern Guard, let me know in the comments and in the chat. What was I saying? Oh yes, I think especially for the stern guard, just the stern guard bolt rifles are quite a bit better. And it's what I would rather them be armed with anyway, so it's quite convenient. I thought this guy was special enough I gave him... appreciated his left arm. What do you know? I don't remember doing that. It's the way it goes sometimes. This whole stream is basically just going to be one big non-oil meme. Ah, look at my perfectly pristine and cleanly painted Space Marines non-oil. Ah, how am I going to add more attitude to my Space Marines? Oil wash. Look at how pretty my oil wash. Wow, I'm almost done painting my Space Marines. They look so good. I'll never regret doing anything to oil wash. Stern Guard. Now their sergeant can join them because they are at the same stage of painting. To swap this clamp over for 40mm one. Drink some water. Normal Terminator first. Oh my gosh, all the crevices and all the land. Let's go Terminator armor. Oh, I just want to spread it everywhere. not go into that crack, did it? Get in there. What's in there? Jeez, this is a lot to clean up because of all these crevices. But this is so great because of all these crevices. This is exactly... Man, this is what this technique is designed for, is a model like these Terminators. Let's get a fresh tip to get into his face. This... Look at this absolute unit of a boy. Look at him. Jeez, this looks so good. This absolute chonky lad. Sometimes old reliable is a better tool, just because you know it'll be clean. There we go. Most of that grime off of the back of his fist. There we go. Definitely's got a bit of a dirty hand, but you know, he'll be fine. That's a man who's seen some battle. Oh, man, that looks so good. Oh, man, I'm so happy with the way this is turning out. Top of the thing. Did we stay? Let's try. Let's just try the tiniest bit. This is oil wash. This is oil paint thinner. Just take a splash of it here, just so I can. This guy up just a tad bit more. Give his armor a bit more of a polish. There we go. Man! I can always come back and maybe I'll do that at the end as I'll pull a Q-tip with that bottle and I'll just in some detail. Alright. I'm gonna go through quite the number of Q-tips tonight. That's the guy who's been washed. Oh, man, the difference that makes. I don't think you all can see too much on camera, but the amount, you know, he looks grimy. He looks like he's been in war, yes, but also just the amount of detail that helps pull out. Especially when I've left so much of these Terminator models white. So good. You know, when I was working on these Terminators the other day, I was a little worried that I wasn't putting enough detail in, but I now have no more worries about that. Having as I'm doing this, plenty of detail picked out with purposeful color. Let the randomness of some fluid dynamics take over for a little bit. It looks dang good. It's definitely satisfying. Sorry, I would be joking and laughing more, chat, but I'm just so stoked on how this is turning out that I'm just like enraptured by these Terminators. I mean, all Space Marine armor, all Space Marine models and armor is good for this technique. This is something else. I think it's because there are such larger, flatter areas in the armor that really contrast it. Whereas sometimes with the more standard Space Marine armor, it's so contoured that you can kind of lose the effect just a tad. This is your reminder, everybody. Let your models be dirty. Let your models, not messy, let your models be dirty. It adds so much. I've got a bad feeling all of the backs of these power fists are going to be stained quite brown. It's fine. Can pull some more of it off later. I will say doing this immediately makes the base style that I use feel a lot less like torn up Greenland, and a lot more like muddy, washed up earth kind of terrain, which I think I'm here for. I hope I'm here for it because it's what's happening. to stop being so precious with my Q-tips. Once I start seeing them streak too much, I need to just grab a new one, or I'm just gonna keep being just slightly frustrated at my tool. It's not the tool's fault. I'm putting it up through good use. Jeez, okay. It's been a week and a half, chat. It's been a good week. We've done a lot. And this little reward of an oil wash session has been well earned. This just... hold on, I should do this math. I had 3 models finished, and I'm gonna have 10, yeah, 5, 10, 12. So I just increased the number of finished Space Marine models this week that I had by a factor of 4. Pretty good job for, well, hobby time. And okay, yes, it's only 12 models. It's a pretty extensive painting recipe, and the models look pretty dang good if I say so myself. If I'm allowed. I'm quite happy with the way these Marines are shaping up. In fact, oh, I meant to do that before streaming, I forgot. You just see, I'm tempted because I saw someone on Instagram leak a picture of the new Dark Angels book. And if you were on yesterday's stream, we were chatting through the new Deathwing detachment. And I think that's the detachment I'm going to be running my Space Marines as moving forward. Not that I have any particular love with the Dark Angels. I mean, they're probably my second favorite original Legion. And I'm very tempted to say that this chapter, whose heraldry is so similar to that of a traitorous Astartes Legion, has some sort of connection to the Dark Angels, given the lore behind my chapter master being a loyalist Emperor's child, Emperor's children legionnaire, who during the events in the Istvan system. Was off, you know, speaking with, politicking with another legion that has hitherto been non-specified, but I am fairly tempted to say Dark Angels, though I know I'd been thinking Iron Hands. It's because, you know, Ferris and Fulgrim. The Gorgon and the Phoenix. You know. But I am tempted by the Sons of the Lion, and especially if I'm going to be using their rules in game. And maybe at some point some of their unique character sculpts, at least, even if I'm not using those characters in name, but in sculpts and in rules. Since I will be running, I think I am gonna just commit to run that. All of this to say, I found the rules leaked, even though I think they don't come out until next week officially. I might see if I could get in a game with my Space Marines on Sunday. I think that would be fun. I meant to drop a line in the Discord for my local shop for stream, but I forgot. Say love you. I'm remembering now. And hopefully I'll remember after stream so I can try to get that planned. That looks so good. And again, if I don't like how dirty these look, I can always come back basically until I put another coat of varnish on them, but you know, it'll probably be in the next couple days, and just come back with some paint thinner and wipe it off. Just reactivate the oil paints and wick it right up. I guess not reactivate, but you know, thin down that paint. Shoulder seal, which I know has a name, just keeps eluding me whenever I'm on stream. These Terminator shoulder seals. I know I'm going to be coming back on some of these Terminators. Cleaning them up a bit more, just again, large armor panels that I'd rather not be all muddy and crap. But that's not today's prerogative. Today's prerogative is enjoying the near magic that is oil washing. Sergeant, how are you, sir? Go. Here's a question, everybody. Space Marines are getting a huge range refresh where we're getting a lot of old models reimagined at the, what we may dub the Primaris scale or the True scale. This larger scale, which is admittedly very, very nice and looks very, very good. What other faction deserves this treatment? Deserves a big range refresh of some of their oldest and most classic models. Is it the Eldari Aspect Warriors? Probably. I know they're working on some of those. No, I think, didn't one of them just get a kill team box? Is it the Eldari? Is it the Necrons? The Orcs? I think the Orcs also just got some refreshed models. I say just got, I mean probably within the last year or two. I think that's a thing that happened. I know there's no love lost for Eldari right now. But would, man, that was a satisfying drop. Who deserves it? Who needs it the worst? Whose models look absolutely garbo in comparison to modern stuff? Well, I know one person who's not in chat because um, if our Captain Chloroform, Photosynthesis Man, was in chat, we would have just been bombarded with a stream of chats about the Tau. Which, to be fair, I think the Croots just like literally today got a I shared it to my Instagram story. Which, if you're not following my Instagram, link in the description. Pop on over there. I think there's a new line of Croot models just got announced. I remember looking at them thinking they're pretty cool, and then immediately going, I have no clue what this is. And have done all of these models in an hour. You know what that means I should do? I should build some Terminators, because I think my working Space Marine list right now has 2 squads of 5 Terminators. Now all we have left to do is the librarian. Oh, please be okay. And look, this is actually, with the models we painted this week, we have 2 fairly decent in-game squads. We have Stern Guard with a Lieutenant with Power Weapon and a Relic Shield, as well as a squad of Terminators with a Librarian. Okay, so a lot of these crevices aren't gonna end with this oil wash. Oh man, because I know we're gonna get glow effects going all over this guy because he's just begging for them. But we'll start here. He'll probably get cleaned off quite a bit if I'm being honest, especially compared to the other models. He is a character after all. The book gets darkened up. The actual recesses of his armor get darkened up. Wash down his metallics for sure. Just going haphazardly. Very, very nice. Good shadows. Very good shadows happening immediately on this guy. Again, this Terminator armor just absolutely loves a good wash. Just see into all those crevices. Oh, his foot's quite dirty. Give his shoe a shine. Let's give that skull a shine too. Just want that to read as a skull and not just a bit of shine or just another bit of rock. This boot. I love this process. It's so satisfying. Yes, I'm putting it all over his face. Yes, I'm gonna clean it off rather quickly. Not all over his face. I just want to make sure I get whatever recesses are in there just darkened up. So all of it reads better. Yeah, that looks better. That looks good. Hey Jacob, how you doing? What kind of Space Marines are these? This color scheme comes from the Sons of the Phoenix chapter originally. As far as what type on the table and what mark they are, this is a librarian in Terminator armor. This sculpt comes out of the Leviathan launch box, and I think can now be bought standalone. We also have 5 Terminators and 5 Stern Guard veterans on the table today getting worked on. I have been streaming painting up these guys all week, and this is our little reward at the end of the week for destroying some of my backlog. I'm doing the most fun step of this paint recipe, which is the oil wash in a big old batch, which I am frankly almost finished with. It's gone quite a bit faster than I was expecting for it to go today. So yeah, hope that answers your question. As far as what rules I'm thinking about running, I really like the look of the new Dark Angels Deathwing detachment that was announced the other day and should get released hopefully soon. I have a lot of veterans in my collection just because I like the way they look as much as anything. As well as a good number of Terminators. So the rule, I think, which is veteran units, and I think just veteran units, not dreadnoughts, can gain +1 to wound on targets on an objective that you choose once per battle round, or once per turn, like command phase, so once per turn you have. Which I guess is once per battle round. I wonder, I have to look at the wording on it to see how long the effect lasts. Because if it lasts till the end of the battle round, that's great. If it lasts until your next command phase, that's even better. If it only lasts for 1 turn, it's good. So, yeah, that's the oil washing done. Please feel free to ask questions about all the stuff I just wrapped up doing, but I do think I'm going to grab my box of unbuilt Terminators and build them up, because I think I want to run my Space Marines in the game this weekend, and in order to do that, I think I need 5 more Terminators to make a 1500 point list. I don't have many Space Marines. They're I guess they're not my newest army, but They are not my first army, so I do not have a plethora of options, much less a full 2,000 points. But I think I can get to 1,500 if I get some more Terminators built up. And now I have a squad of Terminators that are almost completely finished being painted. I don't know if we'll finish painting all these guys on stream, or if this will be a off-stream thing, or just maybe I'll have a hangout stream where I just pick through and do the detail work on a bunch of models. Because any one model is not going to take all that long to do. Just clean up a couple edge highlights here and there, doing the eyes. This is all fine. Ooh, little base. Instructions. Bases? Somewhere? Possibly. There we go. Bases. Teleport Homer base. Need that. So yeah. Got another 40 minutes of stream. Let's knock out building some Terminators. Need my snips. We did the Sergeant the other day on stream. Not sure. But obviously I'm gonna do 3 guys with Power Fists and Storm Bolters. But I might, and we'll start with the Special Weapons guy, because I'm kind of interested in doing a little magnetization on him. Because it's at the shoulder. Because we have an assault cannon with a full arm attached. We have a heavy flamer in 2 parts. Maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I don't. And then, because the other option's the rocket launcher thing? On his shoulders? Yeah. Let's see. Bit of an involved install. Still have the stat lines? Ah, it still has the stat lines. I'm assuming this is 10th edition. Well, it has to be. Okay, we're looking at 1. 24-inch range, 6 attacks, 3 up. Strength 3, 0, AP, 1 damage, dev wounds. Okay. The missile launcher, which is 2d6 with blast or 2 shots. Let's do the missile launcher. That's a fun. That's fun. Torn ignores cover, d6 attacks. So you either get 2d6 bolter shots at 36-inch range, which is pretty good, or you get 2 autocannon-ish shots, but 2 shots that could swing up better. Let's do that. Let's get some variety in here. Besides, it looks cool. And it's different. Yeah, we'll do the missile launcher guy. Why not? That sounds fun. And yes, half the time that's how I make decisions about my my models. What looks cooler? Glances at stat line. Yeah, it looks like a pretty decent stat line. I can run that. Is it gonna be fun? Is it gonna look good? Great. It's gonna be new rules that I gotta figure out how to use. Yeah. That's half the fun of this game. Why do you keep switching screens with me? 43, 46 on the legs. We're looking for a 43 and a 46. All right there. Piece number 46. Come on down. We'll get to that in a second. We need our glue and our hobby knife. I seriously am going to make a short at some point going on a rant about how when you're cleaning up parts for your models, you really should cut towards yourself. Do not have the wherewithal on a Friday night to script out that video, but I will have to make that because it really is safer to do what I'm doing now, which is holding your knife in such a way in which the cutting edge of your knife will go directly towards your thumb, and you get to use all the little muscles in your hand to squeeze and control that knife blade. And you have your thumb as a backstop, and you're not pulling with these bigger muscles that generate more force. So it's a lot easier to just let the knife do the work and just slowly scrape bits off until your part is clean and you're a lot less likely to cut yourself all that badly. Now, will doing this give you some little minor cuts on the pad of your thumb? If you're pushing your thumb towards your hand a little too hard, sure, but won't break more than a couple layers of skin. And your thumb also can help support the piece of work you're working on, so you can be more careful and more precise. You can get better cuts. It's not, not the technique to be used all the time, but a good portion of the time, absolutely. Slotted together. 40, 48, 45. Looking for a back panel. Don't see a back panel on this. Here's 45. $40.48. Not on that sprue. Probably not on this sprue. 40 and 48. 40 right here in the center. The other reason to use the missile launcher, well, no, I guess the missile launcher is quite open for kit bashing opportunities too. Honestly, maybe more so. So maybe we do the assault cannon. Maybe we just have all my Marines have assault cannons. Shoot, chat. Why am I being indecisive about this? What do you think? Do we do the little back-mounted missile launcher, or do we do the assault cannon for this squad? Because I am being quite indecisive. What do you think? Need some advice on some war gear options. It's a lot more shooting if we do the missile launcher and the storm bolter, because they get both. But the assault cannon is quite good. That's what I have on my other squad. But that's just because that squad's out of the monopose stuff, out of the Leviathan box, so I didn't have the option. I'm not going the heavy flamer because these guys are not salamanders nor salamander's successors, and I never think about the fire overwatch stratagem. So what's the point in taking a flamer? That is strength 5, AP minus 1 damage. You know. Jeez, and Chain Fist being 3 attacks instead of 4 really kind of stinks. And hitting on 4s is the real bummer there. Increased AP and strength is quite nice though, but not nice enough. I think I'm gonna spec into him. Maybe I will on one guy. Maybe I will on this guy. Just give him all the special weapons. Just for the sake of variety. See, this guy really, maybe this guy got ran over by a tank at some point in his life. He went back to his artificer and said, alright, changing it up. Give me stuff to take down tanks. I don't ever want to be trapped under a tank again. That was freaking miserable. So he strapped on the chain fist. He strapped on the missile launcher. That's kind of a fun narrative to play with, if I'm being fully honest. Sergeant. Give him the pointy hand. Now we'll put a pointy hand on another guy to make him more interesting. 44, 47, or our side plates. There's 44. 11, 29, 6. Strange. 47, 47. 74 has a purity seal of 77. I don't think it matters all that much, but no reason to deviate, as I haven't built this kit before. $47. Wow. On sprue number 3. No clue which is which. I genuinely don't think it matters. They're both just plain panels. You want to just make sure they're seated correctly on there. Right, there's that. Next page. Okay, we're gonna go the purple route, I'm committing to it. We're gonna do the missile launcher with the chain fist, and he's just gonna really dislike vehicles for some reason. And when he earns a name, he'll earn a legend of how he became so begrudged. Let's build a missile launcher. Put him to the side. Because let's be honest, I'm going to pull the heavy flamer off this guy and put him on an orc. And I'm going to pull the assault cannon off this guy and put him on who knows what, you know. None of these bits are going to go to waste because they're great bits. They look absolutely lovely. I wish the assault cannon and heavy flamer options were a little bit easier to magnetize. It's not terrible. You just have to either have a spare shoulder pad or also magnetize the shoulder pad, which is just a bit of a pain. The second one I need. Okay, I need 98, 93, or 96, 93, rather. This is 96. So it's 93, 94. We need 93. Oh, there's definitely parts over here. 93 right there. There's a good bit of rocket launcher parts on this sprue. Sorry for everyone who is just now tuning in, expecting us to be doing fun oil washing things. That went remarkably quickly and remarkably well. So we're on to building up some Terminators so I can make 1,500 points to try to have a game with my Space Marines this weekend. How do these fit together? This guy with the step facing upwards. Oh, there's the registration mark and how it slots in. Boop. I've made an entrance. Welcome back, wrestlers. How you doing? $94, $95, $94 and $95. Didn't I just see these pieces on the other bit? 94. And 95. Right. Ooh. Tired, laid in bed last night till 4 a.m. Oof. Isn't that how it always happens? When you start thinking about like, oh, if I'm gonna be up anyway, I could make myself be up and be productive, and maybe I could, sleep in the middle of the day tomorrow. Nope, out cold. Woke up more tired. Yeah. That's always the case when your sleep schedule. Wow, let me not just start talking about sleeping and start mumbling like I need to go to bed, because I kind of do. That's the worst, man. Sorry to hear about that. So we have our little L piece here, and this, which is our little exhaust fan, is going to go on the back, just like this, no? This. Square off our edges. Then it's going to be the face. Our rocket launcher will go on here. The missiles. Like this. There it goes. I definitely feel the thank God it's Friday. Sadly, I have to work all day tomorrow. So, I will celebrate for you in spirit and curse you under my breath. No, hope everyone can rest well tomorrow. That's what Saturdays are good for. Doing hobby things, sleeping in, eating some good food, resetting for next week. Goes. One half of his backpack. 91, 80, 89. So 88 through 91. So I'm not gonna make the same mistake last time. I'm gonna get all these pieces out so I can get them all together and squared up with each other. Because there's good registration on these pieces, but when you've only got two of them at a roughly 90-degree angle, they're not gonna sit quite right. Let's just go ahead and grab all of these. I need the missiles, which were over here. No? Yep, there they are. But having four sides to a cube is quite a bit more stable. So we can do this, and then we can slap the lid on. Three, 4. Okay, so it's this guy, like this, and this guy like that. Come on, don't fall apart. Don't fall apart! You're not supposed to fall apart. Hold together. The whole point of me doing it all at once was so that it'd be more secure. Dang it. There we go. Now the registration marks are helping me. Get our cover. Oh, shoot. Where'd it go? Uh-oh, chat. One got dropped. I need a flashlight. There it is. Whew. All the way under the desk. That could have been bad. So one thing about having my lights set up like this to stream is it makes me look really good on my solo cam because I'm well lit and it's really great to work with because my desk is well lit. But everything else in the room is very dark. You can see just about everything, but details, especially on the floor, whew, good luck. So that was almost quite bad. I'm dropping that piece. Good to have a flashlight on hand. It's always good to have a flashlight on hand if you're having trouble finding things, because sometimes our eyes are a little bit more evolved to see movement. Sometimes if you shine a flashlight on something and move it around, the shadow will catch your eye. That's where, like, you see something, you're looking for something and you realize it's right in front of you. That whole thing, because it's standing still, your brain might, like, fuzz it out. Shine a flashlight around, the shadow will pick it up. Make your life a lot easier. Okay, what the heck is this instructions? So it tells me to put those side pods together, and it tells me to put them away, and build the rest of the dude first. Okay, fine. Be that way. What's this chesticle situation? 70, 79, 97. Wow, we're just getting all sorts of things backwards tonight. 3. On here. Ugh. 27, 97. 42. Not the answer in this case, though it is quite the important answer. 57. I'm also looking at these numbers upside down. 57. 3. 79. No, 97. Right there. Yep. Of course, it's the last place I look for it. I think the difference is this little sensor array box. I think this one has it's a little bit bigger, so it connects to the actual rocket launcher, which is cool. It's a nice little detail. Though it is very tempting to, like, have the rocket launcher, like, tilted off to the side and, like, tracking with wherever I put his eye line. Which we might be able to do anyway, because that would be cool. Have him, like, bolter down, power fist up, you know, this way maybe, or this way. Rockets tracking his eye line. That'd be cool. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. What glue is that? This is the Mr. Cement Deluxe for plastic model from Mr. Hobby. It's the Hobby Lobby brand just because it's what I could get my hands on. A Terminator fights a sister of battle. I'm not finishing that sentence. I'm not doing it. I know you want me to read that out on stage. Or not on stage. On the internet. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna fall for it. Kind of made that joke. You could have made that joke a lot worse. It still doesn't mean it's a worthwhile joke. Sorry. Oh yeah, this is why, because it wants me to refer to the front of the book here to figure out what his freaking arms are built out of. 3 and 2. 3. Doesn't matter, they're all the same, yeah? Alright, let's take a more bent arm because we're gonna put it down. Like this guy. 49. No. That's like a medium, that's a full bend. That's a straight pointing forward, that's... Trying to be considerate of the other lads I have to pose. So use that first one for the sergeant. Just use... Because they're all part 3? Yeah, they're all sub-assembly 3. Except these are all sub-assembly 2. I haven't used any of these yet, so I should have 3 closed fists, 2 open hands, and I think a pointer? I'm probably overthinking this. Let's just see which one I find first. 79? This one? Ooh. Straighter. Let's figure out which one I find second. Not on that sprue. Yeah. Where are my arms? 34. Sold. Where are my nippers? There they are. Okay. Yeah, like, as a kid, he's always like the weird guy of like, oh, why is he looking out? It's like, he's actually the most important guy in the squad. You never think he is, but he always is. Because he's the one who's actually aware of what's going on. And that is more valuable than anything else. $35 and $36. Bolter number 35. And bolter half 36. So this is where I'll say it just because he's not in chat right now. You know, that's a very Tao statement of you to make, as you are observing for your fellows. That can also be true. I saw a little short the other day of a guy like, I like aerospace engineering, so I get aircraft stuff on my feed every now and then. It was, you know, a mid-air refueling video when this dude's saying like, yeah man, just come on by, we got like 2 whole boxes of Chick-fil-A sauce. Just like that. That guy's a legend. Brings Chick-fil-A sauce for the squad, refuses to elaborate, is a hero. Ooh, what would be a stone cold pose? Which you can probably do with this arm. Well, you can definitely do with this arm. Though it's very right in front of him. If I could swing his arm out to the side more, so we could have some intentionality with it, to have him pointing his Stormbolter and the missiles at the same spot, that would be cool. That would be a very, very cool posing. I mean, I think anyone who finds moments of humanity and levity in any sort of serious job like that, especially something that has such possible dire consequences, definitely deserves some praise. Because it doesn't always have to be that way. We could do the point arm. We could do the point arm with the missiles. I kind of want to save the point arm to make someone else look cooler. Okay, let me finish building the missiles and I can start thinking about posing him. And we'll decide which arm to build. Okay, it's just that piece. Oh my god, you couldn't have told me to grab this piece on the other page and put them together? Come on, G-dubs. That power fist has just 4 skulls as knuckles. That power sword has that chain fist has 4 skulls as knuckles. That's metal as fuck. It's awesome. Bump. Well, I guess I'm gonna build one more Terminator on tonight's stream, not finish off the box like I was originally thinking when it was, 10 after 8, and I already did all the work I had put aside to do on stream today. But I am tired from streaming every day this week, which to this point, let me put this missile launch together and I'll show you all something. there's a very, very handy thing that YouTube lets you do, that would be a huge help to the channel. Let me just pop these guys together and let this start curing. This is gonna... Yeah, that's not gonna swing side to side. So maybe we do take like an open fist. And if that guy wants to be pretty straightforward, we'll do that kind of idea. Alright, so all I use. Here's what you're gonna do. Bear with me. Will the stream jank never end? One of these days, I'm gonna have a whole stream with no stream jank. Today's not that day, apparently. You're gonna go right here to my page. You're gonna scroll down. You can go here to past live streams and you can catch up if you haven't, you know, seen working on Space Marines this week. What you can also do is you come down to Workbench Streams playlist right here. And it'll start playing one. This top one, which is number 3, which is I think when we started working on Space Marines. Right? It's when we started working on Space Marines. It is when we started working on Space Marines. So you can come here and you can actually watch to keep up, to catch up and know what's going on. Or you can be a real one and you can go playback speed 0.25. Mute the sound, and just forget about it. Just let it run. Nothing extra from y'all, just a couple extra clicks. Big help for the channel. Back to our Terminator. So because his rockets, I could even it up and make it not square, but because his rockets really do want to just be square like that, I'm gonna go ahead and slap them on, and we'll pose his arms around that. I mean, it makes good sense. If I was there's a what was I just saying? Wow, I completely just lost my train of thought. It makes sense design-wise. I would not want to put in extra articulation on something like a rocket launcher that is attached to the, you know, the top of a massive suit of armor. When it's man mobile and he can twist his torso and reposition his feet to get the shot off, I don't really blame him for not putting in that extra bit of articulation, because points of failure abound. There's a chunk of printed support material stuck in my snipper grip. Alright, so we got this, and we have this arm, which could go just like this, and he could be all guns blazing, and we could put a hand down, which I am tempted. Or we can put this down, I'm not sure what I want, chat. Open hand, closed hand. So we're gonna do a chain fist, no? Let's grab a chain fist. Do they matter piece to piece, or can I just grab one? Ooh, they do. Oh, because of the power cable. Of course they matter. Alright, let's do closed fist, chain fist, down, bolter up. Let's make a decision. Let's be decisive. Then we can all go to bed. So it is 9:03. And your boy is turd. We're looking for arm. 82. 82. There we go. 1 and 2. I wish Twin Lightning Claws were better than they currently are. I have not looked at Twin Lightning Claws. I much prefer the aesthetic of Hammer and Shield or Weapon and Ranged Weapon. I'm not a huge fan of just the look of Lightning Claws. So I cannot speak to that off the top of my head, though I will pull it up in a second. Take a glance. For the sake of conversation, because I'm kind of curious. Obviously you get Twin Linked. Obviously, right? So you're rerolling wounds, which is always good. But it's probably like mass strength 4 attacks at maybe AP -1 and probably 1 damage. Space Marines. What data card are they on? Probably Assault Marines. Or Assault Terminators. Terminator. Assault Squad. Twin Lightning Calls. There we go. Twin Linked. 5 attacks at 3/2. That's not terrible though. You get Battle Shock. Oh yeah, Battle Shock on the charge. That's fine. That's whatever. I mean, I say that. I say that like you can ignore it, but that could actually help you take an objective, especially if it's something you can't necessarily kill. But okay, damage 1 is the bummer bit, but you're taking 5 attacks at weapon skill 3, strength 5, re-rolling the wound at AP -2. I mean, that's gonna shred 1 wound infantry, and that's gonna be able to punch up against a lot of things because of Twin Linked. But what? Thunder Hammers get dev wounds. AP -2 damage. People love their dev wounds these days. Seethes in Custodes player. Oh, and then you get an extra wound for the shield, which I think is the real reason people opt for that over not the Deathwing Knights League specifically. I was looking at the Deathwing detachment rules yesterday, and I'm quite excited by them, and I'm probably going to be running my Space Marines using the Deathwing detachment, because I have a lot of veteran units, and I like the veteran units, and I like that more, you know, elite, honored of the chapter kind of feel. But no, I didn't see the, oh wait, you're saying Dreadwing Knights. No, I assume you mean Deathwing Knights? If not, tell me, because then I definitely have no clue what you're talking about. Dreadwing Knights. Is that a different... Oh, now you're making me go Google things. Dark Angels... E-L. No. L, not K. Angels Dread Wing Knights. Some Heresy era stuff? Oh yeah, these are the guys who use the, like, illegal weapons. It's their Dreadwing, yeah? What's special about them? I don't know. Might have said the wrong thing, but okay. Five-man squad of Termies, 290 points, no ranged weapons. Yeah, so Deathwing Knights probably. Yeah, so you're at 4 wounds. And don't they get -1 damage? Isn't that their ability? I think that's what the release said yesterday. Worse melee weapons than normal termies. What? Worse melee weapons than normal assault terminators. For 190 points, that seems like that can't be true because they're brand new models. They're brand new sculpts. And I mean, I'm the first one to say that I don't. GW does some very interesting things, we'll say, when it comes to the rules they give to their models, especially their new ones. But like, fancy new kit, don't we think they should at least be like points costed? Okay. Well, yes, but Gladiator Lancers are way too cheap. Because they should balance against Ballistic Dreads, and they just don't. I think with the... But, like, okay, points costs are also about to go the way of the dodo, because LVO is this weekend. Don't they have, like, fancy specialty Dark Angels weapons on the Deathwing Knights? They have like maces or something? You should not be aiming up. There's not anything he's gonna shoot his Stormbolter out up at that's going to be taller than he is. Can you hit that barrel a little bit? Just move that out. Yeah, the mace got nerfed on the current data sheet. Okay then. Well, that's a damn shame. I guess everyone's just, you know, unless they really feel the need to use that data sheet, they're just going to run them as Assault Marines. 4 attacks, hit on 2s. Hitting on 2s, strength 6, AP -1, 2 damage. This was thing about AP do damage 1, yeah. So. Okay, but like if you take into account the rule for Deathwing, in which you get +1 to wound on an objective. And with these guys not having ranged weapons and being tanky, you're probably going to want them to either be immediately charging onto or sitting on an objective. And so you're going to, okay, sure, strength 6, but strength 6 power sword, AP -2, 1 damage. I might rather take the swords. Oh no, 2 damage. I mean, I see why they did it that way, because you know we're not allowed to buy in war gear anymore, so we can't. So we need our war gear to balance against itself. The Math Hammer guys said that it equates to 1 more dead Marine. Yeah, the 2 damage is definitely the way to go. Yeah. Because you're not getting an extra attack for giving up the damage, even though it's more likely to make it past an armor save. 2 damage. And what I'm finding playing my Custodes, especially against things like Tyranids and Necrons, is 2 damage will really help eat through Horde units. Especially if they have Feel No Pain, because I know like what are they called? Tyranids have a billion ways to get feel no pains these days. And 2 damage really, really helps mitigate that being a problem. Was it just that I was playing against that came up with recently? Oh, and Poxwalkers. Yeah, I played that game. I played a game against Death Guard and played a game against Death Guard and the Poxwalkers feel no pains. I think 3 Poxwalkers the whole game made their saves. But you know, I'm Custodes and I have 5 attacks per model, so you know, between my 2 damage bolter shots, you know, Custodes are great. I don't think I need to keep harping on the fact that I love my Custodes and Custodes are great, but Custodes are great. Well, we built a Terminator. There's 3 more in this box to build, which I will either do tomorrow off stream because I want to hang out and chill, or I will do on a stream next week. I have to look at what my current list is. Let's round off this stream by looking at what my current Space Marines list is, and see exactly how this is gonna run. So I know I've had a couple going on, and I think I need, for the one I'm thinking about, I think I need to decide which character models to bring along. The Librarian, definitely, because he's, you know, painted. And he looks absolutely great, chat. I know it's going to be dark up by the camera, but oh, I've got this flashlight. Boop. He's looking just gorgeous. And he still probably needs another 30 minutes of work on him to fully finish him, but I think it's this list that I've been plugging away at. I can't remember if I was building this up to a 2,000 point list or because there might be a way I can kind of take a bit of a soup and get to 2,000 points with just a lot of characters, which again would be fun. We'll see. Yeah, no characters plugged in, but we've got 3 blade. Oh yeah, this is just soup of what I have. So 3 blade guard, a squad of 10 hell blasters, 5 stern guard, times 2. 2 5-man Terminator squads, 2 ballistic dreadnoughts, and it is currently at 1,000. Oh, I have a random lieutenant plugged in, but I want to do characters later. 1,375 points for Blade Guard, Hell Blasters, Stern Guard, Terminator, Ballistus. I think I throw in my Heavy Intercessors as a nuisance, hold the line, and that leaves me 500 points to plug in a character to every single squad. So I run my Chapter Master with 1 squad of Terminators. I run the Librarian with another squad of Terminators. I'll run the Combi Weapon Lieutenant because I kit bashed 1. I've got 2 lieutenants to throw around in something. I have a Chaplain I can throw into something. I have a Apothecary I can throw in with something. Probably the Hell Blasters, because those boys like to overcharge and die. So yeah, we'll play with it. Well, maybe I'll play my Marines, and especially if I can find. I think I found pictures. I need to decide, make sure it's all readable, and make sure that this actually looks like pictures from a playtester's early release of the Dark Angels Codex. I might actually play that detachment this weekend. Be fun, yeah. Haven't been to a single model yet this week. I've been telling myself today we'll finish the army before the Deathwing box comes out. Yeah, you might want to get after that, because the Deathwing box comes out soon. So if you want to finish if you want to finish your army before Arcs come out and you haven't been painting all week, you might want to just get after that. There's some great background noise if you need it, and you can go find my Workbench streams and you just throw that on the background while you paint your models. Well, with that being said, with that last little bit, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all will like and subscribe if you haven't already. This will, of course, be right up as a VOD on the channel in a couple minutes after the stream ends, but it'll still be there for everyone who wants to go get it. You all have a good night, and thank you for coming along with this marathon week of streaming every night, and I'll see you all next time. Ooh.